Finally tonight, we all know these are hard times for many Americans. 1 out of every 2 Americans is poor or barely scraping by. That's 146 million people, and 5.9 million of them are children. Earlier today, we gave out hundreds of free turkeys outside of the National Action Network headquarters in Harlem. A national drive by boxing promoter Don King, done in Cleveland, in New York, in New Jersey, Westchester, all over the country, to try and give something to people that really need it. I was struck by how people lined up for hours waiting for what might be the main part of the meal that they were trying to scrap together. Joining me now is the legendary boxing promoter Don King. Thanks for joining me tonight, Don.
It's a pleasure to be able to join you, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Now, you've been doing this all over the country for how many years?
Over 50 years I've started the program. It wasn't going over the country. It was started in Cleveland, Ohio, at a nightclub there, and I was in another business of promotion then. But it's always giving back to the community has been a part of my life because the people are the most important. And so that is why I guess, you know, I'm a promoter of the people, for the people, and by the people, and my magic lies in my people ties. So I deal with the people, and that's what I try to do, and helping them, the needy, the downtrodden, the denied, and those who would not get an opportunity, and an opportunity to give them one.
Now, Don, you and your wife, Henrietta, and this is the first Christmas you and your family are spending without her, have been committed to this. And no matter what, you work with Republicans and Democrats. You and I have debated over George Bush and others. But at Holiday, you said put politics aside. Let's stand up for the people. And people all over the country today, you did alone what you and Henrietta have done for years. Do you appeal to other people in business that there ought to be a time we put politics and our disagreements aside and really look out for the American people?
I think so. I think the time is now. It's almost like a new beginning. A nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The only thing that left out of that was not the words, it was the mental subordination of people, inclusiveness. You know, those were the words that were left out that keep us and put us in a position that we have to start anew again right now. Most certainly everyone should consider giving back to the people of this great nation, a nation that's conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, and then deal with it as such, one land, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We say that, we boast the self-evident truth, we live the self-evident life.
Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something quickly. What happened in Florida? I understand something happened with one of the trucks with the poor people down there.
Yes, the truck down here, the truck, we had trouble with the truck. They said it was hijacked. Then they said it disappeared. The driver abandoned it. And finally, with many of the stories that they have brought to us, the reason I'm not there with you live is because I got to stay here to make certain that the people in Florida get their turkeys. And I wrote a letter to Costco's.
Yeah, we're showing the letter.
I made the deal with. And that's wonderful. Thank you so very much. And I'm still waiting on a reply. I have not received a reply as to when these turkeys will be there. I had some verbalization that they'll be here on Thursday. Well, if they don't get here on Thursday, the Christmas holiday is over.
Well, I hope they respond to your letter and we just put it up. Let me hold 1 minute, Don. I want to bring in Tamika Mallory, Executive Director, National Action Network, my civil rights group. Early today, you helped me give out turkeys outside of our headquarters in Harlem that Don has done. What does this mean to the people of the Harlems of the country when people like Don King care about them?
Well, you know, Reverend, it's obvious that people are hurting. I mean, we had people by the hundreds lined up outside of our headquarters all day. They were lined up for hours before we even told them to get there because they needed turkeys. We had seniors, people who are really hurting. And while we're in the middle of all of the different political debates, you have people who are struggling, and National Action Network is really trying to do the job of bringing people what they need.
If Don King has done this, others could do it. What is amazing to me is every year, no matter what, he does it, and I don't see a lot of other people reaching out. Some do, But I think that people in Harlem and Cleveland and Newark and other places today wanted to thank Don, which is why you came down to the show tonight.
Absolutely. It's a great partnership. All of the time that I've been at National Action Network, Mr. King has been donating these turkeys to us and helping us to really bring people what they need. And we really appreciate you, Mr. King, for doing that for National Action Network.
Mr. Don King, I hope that Costco's responds. He's waving the flag. You're going to come back another night where we can debate politics between a Republican and a Democrat. But tonight we are here to give thanks to you.
You just said it. I'm a Republican, but let me tell you something. Take a trip back in history. Thomas Jefferson said many years ago that our liberties are more dangerously impaired by the banking institution than standing armies. And so you must understand it causes unemployment, he says, homelessness, joblessness, and this is like 200 years ago, and it's all coming to bear fruit right now, where people are homeless and jobless, and their houses are being foreclosed on, and in Cleveland, they're tearing down houses that were good houses because the mortgage is double what the people would owe.
That's right.
What the house is worth. So it's a sad commentary here for us in America, the greatest nation in the world, and to be able to suffer this type of a situation where our people are starving and not having jobs. We should just create a job program, put it into effect.
We're going to bring you back on and talk at length and go through the points. Don King, Tamika Mallory, thanks both of you for joining us. Thank you, Don. Let me say this. As you see these people lined up in Harlem today, and it happened all over the country, how can people stand in line for a turkey and others act like $1,000 wouldn't mean something? I want you to see graphically what this $1,000 would mean if a turkey would mean seniors would stand in line that long. Think about it. This is not a